but it's quite true. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary.
Let me stop it there. I'd like to submit to you, you need to listen to God's voice, amen, and not that inner voice, and that'll keep you out of trouble. Can we turn on the lights? And your heart can get you into trouble too, big time. So today, as we continue on this topic of success, let me draw your attention to 2 Timothy chapter 2. And this particular book is relevant partly because Timothy is pastoring in a city called Ephesus where there's a lot of evil. There's a lot of sin, you know. There's a lot of stuff going on. And just like our culture today, there's bring this here. There's a lot of craziness happening in our culture. And it's easy to be disillusioned by the struggles and by the things that are happening to the point that you can't even think about success. You know, it's like, I just want to survive, let alone be successful at what God has called me to do. And like we said last week, success for the Christian is not just about succeeding on a sports team or succeeding at work. If we are thinking in those terms, we are already trapped, because success is much more than that. Success is our families, it's our health, it's our finances, it's our relationships. You know, it's your mental health, it's how you think, it's having joy. Amen? It's having joy every single day, having peace. You know, I mean, what would some people pay to have peace? What would Mr. Hernandez pay right now to have peace? Do you understand? His life is through. Okay? His life is through.
Yeah.
And he can come to Christ, and there can be salvation after this world, but he will spend the rest of his life in prison over choices, over inner demons, anger, hate, a certain idea of what it means to be a man. You know, you talk about the power of images, the power of perception, which we touched on last week. The way you perceive success, the way that you envision your life being played out. All of us have a movie going on in our brains of how you perceive success. And you're striving for it, unconsciously, subconsciously. You know, we are striving for that movie to become actualized and realized, you know? And so the question is God defining that picture of success? Is God the one giving you a perception in your brain, something you perceive to be real about your future and maybe even your present that comes from Him? You know, life is very elusive. You know, life is weird. And a lot of us, like the book of Ecclesiastes says, God said that God puts trials on us. Solomon said God puts trials on us so that men would know that they're beasts. Okay? And Solomon alluded to the fact that humans, you and I, Pastor Jack and you, do you know how close you are verging? You're how close you are to insanity. Insanity is living in an unreal world.